Why solitude makes you stronger. Put your phone down and sit alone in a quiet room. No music, no video, no messages. This is the test. 15 minutes, nothing to hide behind. Right now, be honest. How long do you actually think you'd last? 10 minutes? 2? Maybe 30 seconds? That discomfort isn't coming from the room. It's coming from everything the noise was helping you avoid. Most people almost never sit in real silence. There's always a phone in the hand, a video in the background, a message waiting to be answered. That noise isn't random. It does a job. It keeps certain thoughts from surfacing. So when you finally sit still and it feels unbearable, that's not proof something is wrong with you. It's information. It's telling you what you've been outsourcing to distraction for years. You know the moment. You're finally watching the movie you picked, and your hand still drifts to the phone during a quiet scene. That's not boredom. That's the habit talking. Here's the first thing worth taking from this. Discomfort alone with yourself is not automatically weakness. It might just mean you've never practiced it. There's a difference between what's happening in this room right now and something far more dangerous. We'll get to that. Here's the difference. Loneliness is the ache of missing a connection you actually need. Isolation is pulling away from people so long that ache turns into something worse, the world getting smaller every week. Solitude is neither of those. It's you turning your own phone off on a night nobody was going to text you anyway, not you sitting in silence because you've decided everyone forgot about you. Same room, same quiet. Completely different thing happening inside it. This video isn't telling you to want less connection. It's telling you the goal was never learning to live without people. It's learning not to lose yourself the moment they're not around. Keep avoiding that difference long enough, and you stop noticing it yourself. That's how isolation actually starts. Not as a decision, as a habit nobody names. Noise doesn't just distract you, it hides things. Fear you haven't looked at. Envy you don't want to admit. A decision you've been avoiding for months. All of it stays quiet as long as something is playing in the background. Alone, the noise finally stops covering for you. There's nothing left to scroll past, nothing to keep the discomfort at arm's length. And in that gap, something specific starts happening. You start noticing which of your beliefs are actually yours and which ones you just picked up trying to keep people comfortable with you. Stoics leaned hard on one idea that still holds up. What other people think of you was never yours to control. What is yours? Your judgment, your choices, your attention. Solitude is one of the only places built for actually using that. Watch what happens to one guy who actually does this for a month. Week 1, bad news lands, a rejection email, a canceled plan, and instead of firing back a reply in the next 10 seconds, he sits with it for a minute first. That's emotional tolerance, feeling something uncomfortable without needing to fix it immediately. Week 2, he shows up to the gym at 6 a.m. with nobody there to see it and nobody to tell. That's self-respect, keeping a promise you made to yourself when no one would ever know if you skipped it. By week 3, his phone pulls at his attention less often than it used to because he's practiced noticing where his mind drifts instead of following it automatically. That's attention, getting some control back over where it actually goes. None of it happened because he read a list. It happened because he sat still long enough, often enough to notice the difference. Here's the part that keeps this from turning into another alone is power video. Sometimes what looks like solitude is actually just hiding with better branding. If you're avoiding a conversation you owe someone, avoiding responsibility, avoiding the risk of being turned down, and calling that alone time, that's not solitude. That's isolation wearing a nicer name. Real solitude sends you back into your life clearer than before. Isolation does the opposite. It makes the world outside feel smaller and scarier every time you consider stepping back into it. So here's a question worth asking yourself honestly, every time. Is this time alone helping me return to life, or helping me avoid it? That one question is the whole difference between the two, and if that's genuinely where you are right now, not a rough week, but months of pulling away, the honest move isn't another 15 minutes alone. It's reaching out, reconnecting with one person you've been avoiding. That's not weakness. That's the same discipline, aimed the right direction. Here's the part most people skip. 3 steps. Step 1, remove the escape. 15 minutes. No phone, no video, no music, no mindless scrolling. That's it. Don't overbuild it into a routine you'll quit in a week. Step 2, observe without obeying. You'll feel the pull to grab your phone within the first few minutes. Notice it. Don't fight the thought, and don't obey the urge either. Just let the pull exist while you stay still. That gap between feeling the urge and acting on it is the entire muscle you're training. Step 3, return with one decision. When the 15 minutes are done, don't just get up and scroll. Pick one specific thing to act on. The conversation you've been putting off, or the piece of work you've been circling, or whatever it is you already know you're avoiding. That last step is what turns this from passive sitting into an actual discipline. The first few times, you'll probably last to 8 minutes, not 15. You'll cave. That's not failure. That's just the number you're actually working from. Do this enough times, though, and something specific changes. Your phone buzzes with a message you'd normally answer out of fear. Fear of being forgotten, fear of missing out. This time, you let it sit there for an hour, not because you don't care, because you already know you'll still be okay in that hour, with or without a reply in it. That's the shift. You stop needing everyone's reaction to feel steady. You stop chasing people out of fear they'll leave, because you already know you won't abandon yourself if they do. Your relationships actually get more honest here, not less, because you're choosing them, not clinging to them out of fear of the quiet they'd leave behind. So picture that quiet room again. The phone is still right there. But this time it stays face down, not because you're proving you don't need anyone, because you're proving you don't have to abandon yourself the moment no one else is in the room. Solitude makes you stronger when being alone no longer means abandoning yourself. And if this is the kind of thing you needed to hear tonight, that's exactly what this channel is for.